Hey everybody and welcome back. Hope your guys' Tuesday went pretty well. It's already Wednesday. This week is flying right by, so let's just jump right in the news. So, PlayStation 4 update, enabling remote play game streaming for PC and Mac arrives, today actually. This article says tomorrow, but it is out actually today. I don't know why it says tomorrow. Maybe it was made yesterday and I just didn't look at it. So yeah, 3.5 is coming out and it's gonna be obviously the remote play feature. And it brings parity to Microsoft's Xbox One, which has the same functionality last summer as like the remote play over PC, which is pretty cool, I guess, but I don't really get the point of it. Like, why would you want to play it on your PC if your console is sitting in front of you? But I guess if you're somewhere else and you have your laptop and you're with Wi-Fi, there you go. Maybe that will be a incentive to play it. Now, they said basically the Xbox One was from the get-go, and looks like it's going to be the same for the PS4, obviously. Barring any hiccups or delays that they have with it, or I should say bug fixes and stuff. So I guess the default resolution and frame rate for the PS4 streaming to PC and Mac is 540p at 30 frames per second. Obviously, this is user adjustable, which depends upon what kind of internet you have and what players are working with. The other resolution is 360p and 720p. There's also a 60 frames per second option to choose from. I mean, there's no sense to play it if you can't play it at least 720p, because otherwise it's going to just look like trash, I think, to be honest with you guys. And obviously this update introduces some new social features, like the ability to peer offline, and I guess you'll have the status, online and offline stuff you can just pick, or you can access it by holding down the PS button on the 4 controller to bring up the quick menu. And also friend notifications and usual scheduled events are also packaged into 3.5 update. Is a play together feature that allows all members of the party to see what person is playing, making it easy to join a friend's game or start another one. So it's pretty cool. I think there's also the notification where when your friend's online and stuff, like the PS3 and 360 had, and even I think the Xbox One has that as well. Could be wrong. But I really like that feature and I'm going to miss it, so I'm looking forward to this update. So moving on. So allegedly there was a Microsoft Xbox Next rumor, which was going to be the next Xbox. But Microsoft denied that, obviously, and they basically said it's not true. They said Xbox Next was an old internal team name for a group that worked on the release of Xbox One and is not related to a future console. We have nothing further to share. So I don't know if they don't want you to know about it or if that's going to be the actual name, but it looks like it was just an old team that was put together and they called them Xbox Next because obviously they're coming out with the next Xbox, so the name would come from that, obviously. Alright, so moving on, I guess, the last piece of news. It's actually pretty interesting. It talks about MLB 16, the show, and like why people come back to the game every single year for $60. This guy kind of goes on about his own personal stories and like what he thought about the game and all that good stuff. You guys can read the full article if you guys want. And basically how people keep coming back, and I'll tell you guys from my personal experience. I'm just kind of going out the article as a reference to how I'm going to talk about it. But at my personal experience, I've bought the show since '09, the show, every single year since then. I have '07, but I bought a PS3 in 2009, so I bought '09 the show, which made sense to me, really, to buy '09. There was no sense to buy '07, but I bought '07 and I have 13 for my PS3 still. I got rid of all my other ones, so I basically had the first and last game that were made solely for PS3. And I bought this show every single year since. Now, baseball is my favorite sport, obviously, but it doesn't really make any difference. The game is realistic. The graphics look fantastic, especially on 16 with the lighting. Now they have the retractable roofs, which people wanted forever. They brought sounds of the show back in this year. The new features, I could deal with, but I keep coming back every single year because San Diego Studios is like Rockstar. Yeah, they come up with a sports game every year, but Rockstar doesn't, so they have my trust like Rockstar does, I should say, put it that way. They make a quality sports game. It's a very good simulation, very just like baseball. I play baseball, or I played it in high school. I'm planning to play it again in college here, but, anyways, yeah, they make a really good simulation, so I know how baseball works, and I know, like, what's realistic and what's not, and they, are, like, one of the greatest developers. It would be awesome to work for those guys at San Diego Studios. I love that company, and, you know, they have my trust, and I buy their game every year because I know they're gonna put out a product and not half-ass it like EA. You know, like, EA should really take notes from San Diego Studios and, 2K because, wow. They're falling way behind in the sports genre, and they can, like, you would think MLB The Show would be lazy because they don't have any quote-unquote competition, even though RBI Baseball is out for the Xbox One and PC and PS4. But the whole thing is, they're still improving their game each and every year. Like, there's, you know, dynamic lighting, there's the casting of the shadows in the stadium where the sun would actually be in that month of the year. Retractable roofs now. You know, it's just all those small things. And now, like, even like this really, really small things, like they have Map Excursion announced as the ball is in play, like all the time. So it's not just like dry air, basically, where he's not announcing at all. And, you know, it's all the small things that add up to so much in these games. It's like, obviously, I don't expect the game to improve tremendously year in and year out, but I expect it to at least be a solid game every year, which it is. And I will pay $60 for that game, or $70 for the MVP edition every year, because I know it's going to be a fantastic game, and I know I'm not going to waste my money on it. You know, like, unlike Madden, where I bought 15 and I played it for a month or so, and I got sick and bored of it because the announcing was dry, boring, gameplay sucks. Graphically, it was alright, but it still have not improved that since 15. 15, they took a step up, I will admit that, but it needs to get better, guys, over at EA. Just a whole bunch of things. That's why I don't buy EA games anymore. I mean, I bought FIFA 16 because that's like their highest selling product, and the products, to me, personally, seems like it advances every year to FIFA. I mean, obviously, Pro Evolution's out there, and, you know, I like sports games, so I buy FIFA just because it has the Barclays Premier League in there and stuff, and MLB The Show I buy every year, and I'll continue to buy MLB The Show every single year. You know, it's my favorite sport, and I'm glad it's on console. I mean, if there was no baseball game, I'd be so upset. Like, it wouldn't be a good console gaming at all. I had to play the old school baseball games, which I wouldn't mind really. They're actually pretty good, but I'm glad the show is out, and yes, I will continue to buy it every year until either they drop the ball, or they don't improve upon the game, or they go out of business, which I don't think option number 3 is going to be anytime at all. I hope they're in business forever, because solid product, guys. San Diego Studios, keep up your guys' good work, and that's really all I want to talk about in this video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.